Welcome to Card Corner. These are the cards. That's the corner. Today I'm going to be opening these Robocop 2 cards. Before I did this, I also watched the movie. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a card review and a movie review. But not only that, I'm going to do you one better, and I'm going to give you a third review of this Robohop New England style double IPA. So let's just crack this open first. I'm going to pour that. And we're going to open some cards. It is an IPA, which I'm typically not like super fond of the IPAs, but it's on theme, so that's exciting. All right, let's take a look. It's from Great Lakes Brewery, and it is 8.5%, so let's see how this goes. So I think that I do like the movie. It came out in 1990, and it is, of course, the sequel to Robocop 1. I think they set the mood pretty well. At the start, there's like an exaggerated criminal dystopia. He's like slamming crooked cops into arcade machines, and there's like kids swearing a lot in the movie. But I think that they kind of squander it. The plot doesn't really go anywhere. The one thing that I really do like about it is the special effects. There's like this stop motion. All right, let's try the beer. Ooh, it is an IPA, so it is, of course, pretty sour and bitter. I do like it, though. It tastes kind of sweet. All right, and the pack review. It is a madman named Kane. So he was like one of the like main bad guys, not the like people who created the Robocops, but the like drug lord guys. And this kid was like swearing at Robocop and like clowning on him. He like attached him to a big magnet and was like goofing on him for the first part of the movie, which I think kind of ruined the vibe, you know? Like it was just so goofy, and the kids just like goofing on him. Nuke pusher and addict Kane is a quasi-religious figure, the mysterious leader of a cult dedicated to evil. He is flanked by the beautiful but savage Angie and ruthless young Hob, a kid with a taste for power. This kid swore a lot. And we've got Officer Ann Lewis. She was the one that was like helping out Robocop all the time. I think that one of the things that was weak about the movie is that the plot kind of like went nowhere for a lot of the movie, and then they just kind of like inserted one halfway through. Like Robocop spent the first half of the movie like getting like reprogrammed and electrocuting himself to undo the programming. A reliable and more than efficient law officer, Ann Lewis, feels a special responsibility towards Robocop. Perhaps unconsciously, she feels guilty about Murphy's fate, since she was out of action when Bodicker's men blasted him to death. That's, I guess, from the first Robocop movie. I do like that movie a lot better, although it's been a long time since I've seen it. And I think both of these movies owe a lot to, it's called Death Race 2000, a movie from the 70s with Sylvester Stallone and David Carradine in it. Let's have another sip of this beer. Ooh. Yeah, so I guess it's like sour so it can make the long journey at sea. It looks like something dumped out of there. I don't know if that's good or bad. A lady in distress. Which part was this? Oh yeah. Two punks try to molest a woman when Robocop shows up and shoots one of them where it hurts. His buddy immediately surrenders, and the relieved woman eagerly thanks her benefactor. The one thing that I really liked about this movie was like these costumes and the special effects. They did a lot of like stop motion. I think it was done by Phil Tippett, who recently released his like 30-year magnum opus Mad God. The old man straightens his tie and turns to Robocop. Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Robocop cracks a smile. Murphy, he says, with a touch of human pride. Then he strides out of the conference room and returns to police headquarters. He looked pretty uncanny valley as without this helmet there. His like meagerly attached face. All right, we got Living Death. Murphy is in constant agony as Dr. Fax's new directives are implanted into his mind. Robocop's technicians try to stop the torturous procedure but are ignored by OCP execs. Ready or not, the new but hardly improved Robocop is back on the job. So basically they like reprogrammed him so that he was not a very useful and effective cop. He was like he was reading the Miranda rights to like a guy that got shot and just generally not very effective until he like basically grabbed onto some like a transformer and electrocuted himself to end the programming. All right, it's Fatal Malfunction. In old Detroit, the crime problem has become so unmanageable that a private corporation, OCP, has assumed control of the police force. The executives at the company think they have the answer until the enforcement droid they created kills one of their own. I actually think this one is from the first movie. They bring out this robot to fix the city that's supposed to be like better than Robocop, and eventually Robocop comes and kills that thing. All right, we've got has Robocop met his match? A small vestigial arm, a cutting torch, snaps the monster's shoulder and stabs at Robocop's visor. Our hero thrashes, trapped by his enemy's claws, but he manages to grab the cutting torch in both hands and jabs it into a nearby gas main. That was at the finale. So even though there was not really a great plot, I think that the finale was pretty good and had the Robocop and the bigger robot duking it out. One of the times he like blew him up using the gas main there. Storyboard, Taking the Plunge. So this is a storyboard card, which if you've watched the channel, you know that I do like those like production shots. Storyboards and pre-production renderings that capture the composition and flavor of the finished film. Here, Dr. Fax's monster robot calls from the tower as Robocop tries to save himself. Art by P. Norwood. Yeah, this is one of the parts of the end. I think that another thing the movie does that's cool is it has a lot of like references to other movies. So like this part is sort of a reference to King Kong, and there's a part where they're like programming the evil robot that they're putting the brain of the bad guy here into the bad robot, and it really reminds me of like Frankenstein. It has a strong Frankenstein feel with like the mad science gadgetry and also just the, like the reanimation aspect of it. It's growing on me. It's got a very thick color. In the Clutches of Cain. So yeah, I think that the effects remind me a lot of particularly the Hammer Frankenstein with Peter Cushing. There's like eyes and a brain in a jar, similarly to how they were in that one of those Frankenstein movies. I forget which one in particular, but probably a couple of them. In the Clutches of Cain. A ball attached to a wire strikes Robocop's chest and explodes, driving 3 small prongs into the lawman. Working a control on this weapon, Angie shoots electricity down the wire, and the shocks rip through the rattled peace officer. I like the backs of these cards. It's got a nice full color picture of Robocop on there. All right, and last is our sticker. It is Robocop. Let's see if we can get the gum off. Yeah, not too bad. Some of those other ones, man. Nice picture of Robocop. I also think that the film is kind of, at times it's just too ridiculous. Like, they're trying to make an over-the-top feel, which is fine, but like his robotic walk, like, just becomes a little much. Makes him look goofy instead of scary. All right, we got another storyboard card, taking the plunge. That would be a good time to mention that we do trades here if you want to trade for one of the storyboard cards. The information on how to do that is on the About page of the YouTube channel. Do we get this one too? Yeah, we got Robocop met his match already. Fatal Malfunction. Living Death. That is unfortunate when that happens, but it gives me more cards to trade with you guys. So if you want the Lady in Distress, Officer Ann Lewis, a madman named Cain. Oh, I think this one's a different one. Did we get the Price of Progress last time? No, I think that's a new card. It is a guy lying on a table all bloody. Blasted by a malfunctioning ED-209 unit, the bloody body of a young, relatively unimportant OCP employee is splayed across a miniature replica of the company's dream city, New Detroit. Can't really remember right now if this was this movie or the first movie. Oh, I should be displaying this better. All right, we got one more pack. So overall, I would say we can definitely recommend the first movie. Oh, a sticker. This movie is pretty good, I guess. So, like, it's not like as good as the other one, but I definitely think it has a lot of cool elements. Particularly the stop motion parts. I think whenever they do that, it looks really good. Duffy's Just Desserts. Robocop's foot comes down on Duffy's chest. You sold us out. Where's Cain? A desperate Duffy claims he never heard of Cain, but Robocop knows better. He tosses the corrupt cop at a video game and smashes his face through the screen. I think that was Rad Dudes, the game. I got the beer burps. All right, it's another storyboard card. This time it's Jolted by Electricity. Storyboards and pre-production renderings that capture the composition and flavor of the finished film. Here, both Robocop and the monster with Cain's brain are momentarily electrocuted. there's a lot of cool different effects with like the electricity and the fire, the explosions. That part of it was cool. Just the plot was kind of, could have been better. Let's just say that. Although I think it was written by Frank Miller. Two psychotic felons raid a gun shop but are thwarted by Officer Murphy, better known as Robocop. Think it over, creep, says Robocop, aiming his fabulous weapon. Their capture provides valuable new clues in the battle against Nuke and its nefarious pushers. Some guys eat shot at the start. A lot of those like fake bullet holes and fake bloody bullet holes. Supermarket assault. A high-strung piece of scum threatens a middle-aged couple while trying to rob their store, only to be thwarted and apprehended by Detroit's new kid on the block, Robocop. Oh, includes highlights from Robocop's first adventure. Next up, we've got Incredible Struggle. Here he's fighting with that evil robot. The cops and OCP guards at the barricades fall back as the metallic monster and Robocop clash through the bottom of Centrum Overpass and through the street. So one thing that this movie series is known for is like the social satire, and there was a lot of that in this movie. I think at times maybe they go a little bit ham-fisted with it, like there's the flags of a certain dictator, except with the OCP logo over it. A little heavy-handed, I'd say. Officer Duffy backs around a corner, trying to flee, but Robocop's hand grabs him by the face. Officer Duffy, have a seat, the cyborg says in his familiar monotone. Duffy is sent crashing through the door to sprawl across the arcade floor. Another shot of him hurting the crooked cop. Here's Lewis versus Hobb, the little kid. During the shootout at the arcade, Hobb leaps atop Lewis's back and whips a garrote around her neck. Grasping for breath, she stumbles backwards, slamming Hobb against the wall. As the peace officer drops to her knees, the villainous young attacker dashes away. And spoilers, but he dies on a pile of money. Crusader Against Crime. Created by OCP, but now Wherein? Is that a typo? Created by OCP, but now Wherein, much his own man, Robocop becomes a gallant symbol of hope for the crime-plagued citizens of old Detroit. His foes may triumph temporarily, but in the end, no one escapes the long, gleaming metallic arm of the law. All right, partners in crime fighting. That's him and Lewis befriends Robocop and tries to revive memories of his previous existence. During the transplant operation, Murphy's memory was blanked, or so security concepts thought. All right, that's the last of the cards. All that we've got now is our last sticker, which I think we saved the best for last with this one. It is, I think, the card that showcases the character of Robocop the best. I've been enjoying this beer the whole time. I think that if you like IPAs, definitely give it a shot. If it's available to you, I'm not sure if it's only in Canada or if you can get it wherever. Anyway, definitely give the video a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more stuff like Robocop 2. Not Robocop 2 specifically, but more other stuff. Thanks for watching.